everybody? Welcome to Gamers DMZ. Another Thursday. Thanks for joining us. It's me, Jazzy Moto, and I'm joined by Mega Elixir
Hey,
and,
hey guys.
and also with OG Double M.
How y'all doing this evening?
Then we got Sir Rich
Yo, yo.
and the host with the most, the one.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope those who are gaming are having fun gaming. And thank you for joining our podcast. And let's get to stepping. And we're going to start off with what people have been playing this week. So we're going to start off with you, Mega.
Okay. Uh, well, throughout the weekend, I was playing some Switch games with my friends. I've played Splatoon 3. Um, I played Mario Party, and I've played Okami, and then after that, I play Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
Beat any?
Beat any? Nope, but I can tell that the next game I'm gonna beat is Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
All right. Father like son. OG, what have you playing?
Let's see what I got in some Redfall
That is true.
with
hmm
with you, what Sir Jazz.
Yeah, we just need to
I
get
think we
all
I
together.
think we had a
Yes, we
blast.
do.
Yeah, I think it was real cool.
Couple times. It was my fault for real.
uh, got in a little Star Wars. That's about it for me. I don't think. Oh, Ravenlock. Ravenlock. Y'all should play that one. That's a good indie game.
Get on that. Let me get on that.
That's a good one. And that's about it.
Okay. Jazamoto.
I played lots of Redfall, like you said. Shoot, me and Sir Rich played the one, OG. Oh yeah, one time Sir Rich and I were playing, and we found this room that had it was a recording studio, and we need a full
Oh yeah.
squad because we were trying to play activate all the instruments at once. Like, nah, we need a full squad for this. So
Yeah.
we definitely
Is
had to
that the
get
one
some
with the
friends.
piano in it?
Yes, it was a piano, a
hmm
guitar, it was a set of drums, and there was something else in there. It was a keyboard, yeah. So we definitely got to revisit
Now,
that.
now I did notice some differences when me and the one played it, and when I played it with you guys. A lot of the vampires were moving more when I played with you guys
Could have been
than
some
Hmm.
when
updates.
me and the one played. So something going on there,
Yeah, they
and
listening.
we
Maybe
did have like
some
a
Fix
maybe
them.
there's some dynamic difficulty depending on how many people there are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
Also
but
on
it was
5K.
a patch. It was a 1 gigabyte
Yeah, it
patch
was a patch.
also.
Mm.
They could be working on it rapidly.
So yeah, I'm thinking they are working on it.
Which I'm glad.
It was a yeah, it was a lot more movement. So
Yeah.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Well, what else? I did play some Counter Strike and Vampire Survivors. So
I need
yep.
to jump back into them. Okay.
Oh, Resident
Third.
Evil 4. I'm sorry.
Oh, Resident Evil
No, I'm
4.
done.
Okay. Resident Evil 4. Okay. What about you, Serge?
Oh, I was slicing and dicing in Star Wars.
Oh, you still
Big
slicing and
time.
dicing. Okay.
Uh
Anything?
He said big
Yeah.
time.
yeah. Of course I was playing that Redfall with y'all. What else? Hearthstone. I got back into that. My 2 Point Hospital.
Yeah, I saw you and Jazz playing that.
Uh Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Cowabunga edition.
Oh, yeah.
But a buddy came over. I was
Ooh.
playing that with him. Oh, was that it? Oh, and I tried Ravenlock. I started it, but I didn't get to the part that OG over there all excited about. It's still just story for me. So all
It ramps up pretty fast though. It does.
right. I ain't make it there yet, but hopefully it'll get there.
Yeah. I played Call of Duty, Battlefield, and of course I played Redfall with you guys, and I played with a couple of people, random people online. And yeah, and when you and they had, I mean, they did something because the difficulty did get a bit rough with four people, and it's much better with four people when you have it to maximum difficulty because that's when you really feel the challenge of the
Yeah,
battle.
nice.
And while playing with a couple of random people, I played with some guy. I don't know who he was, but he was like, "Hey, the first thing we're gonna do is get you some epic or whatever gold weapons, whatever how high you can go." And I went up to this lighthouse, went to the top, fought some vamps, and got the equipment that I need. I think it's gold, but anyway, did a couple of I'm gonna call them raids, but when you go into fight the vampires, and it was fun. Played that, and I always Call of Duty. I finished Ghostwire Tokyo, and I told OG I finished that, which was good game, good ending. The thing that peed me off, I did video it, but then I couldn't clip it the way I wanted because I ended up
Mm,
having too much, and I couldn't clip it. I just said forget it, so I didn't
mm,
send Jazz that um, information or upload that information to Jazz, and then I uploaded, played, uh, videoed some Redfall, but that's already being posted on YouTube. But I did post that gameplay on YouTube, but that's all I've been playing.
mm.
Probably get into something on my PS5 this week. I said I probably will,
Nice.
but hopefully we all get to play Redfall again.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
sure. For
and
sure.
amp it up. And amp it up. The only pet peeve, and this is just me, me. This is all about me because this is my pet peeve about Redfall. Is that I always like to be in even numbers because for many years I was at that three. I had whatever game I played, I was either because it's either combinations. Back in the day, it was random gamer points. You guys remember that back in the day? Now it's either 5 or 10 when you get
True.
your gamer score.
Mm-hmm.
I had
Yeah.
got I had gotten a three, and I whatever it is, anything that ends in three. So when you get a 5 or 10, you always go back to three mathematically. 5, 3, and 8, correct? You get a five, you can
Right.
go to 8, 8 and 3, or whatever. But whatever those 8 and 5, 13. So I never wanted a three in it. So it kind of peed me off. So then we get to Redfall, and I finally got back to it. I got a two gamer score from some game, but probably a year and a half ago. So now it was at 5 or 10, even gamer score, even odd, but 5 or 10. Make a long story short, started playing Redfall, and here they come with these darn sevens. 17. Where did they get 17 from? Just what made them do
That was
17?
random. That's random.
But yeah,
Not
but
18. Not
no,
16.
17. How do you come up with a 17? So I played Redfall enough to get back to the even.
They
So
did
I
that
got
on purpose.
right.
Yeah, like
So now
They did that on
people
purpose.
like
yeah,
him.
yeah.
So
So
people numerology and
like
they like the
This
numbers.
17
yeah.
point.
So anyway, that's my little pet peeve. But let's get to talking about gaming so people can become more interested instead of my little pet peeves that don't interest anybody but me.
Hey,
But
Mike, you never know.
but like I said, gaming is personal. So that being said, what did you guys think about the hot news today of the Aces Rock Ally being launched on June, what is it, 13th? Did any of you
Yeah,
guys see the
June.
video? What did you think of it? Do you think it'll compete with the Steam Deck? Um, OG, what about you? What do you think it'll
Yeah,
compete?
it's going to compete with the Steam Deck. It definitely should. Um, I'm interested in it, so I'll make sure to play yours.
Especially
You
since
can,
you live around the
bruh.
corner, right?
Right. I'll come grab it.
I know, right?
Uh-huh.
I think the
But
go ahead, go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, it's nice though. It's real nice. Now the Steam Deck, I think the Steam Deck is a little bit if heavier than this
Yeah, about 10 grams, 10 to 20 grams, about 50
20
grams.
grams, yeah, something like that. Yeah, but yeah, I'm feeling it though. I like
Here
it.
at ROG, we're
What about you, Jasimoto?
I am definitely interested in it. I don't know when I'm gonna buy it, but I would. I will at some point.
Third, I know you don't want it, but
Nope.
I
I would
don't.
like it, but I mean, like
I don't need it.
the Switch, I don't really play as much as I thought I would because I'm more so just I'm straight with my phone. So I don't have to get in the habit of playing in the go and no, 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 no. It might suit me better to play my PC games though, but I don't know. I had to see how it does and see how it performs. I had to come see how yours
yeah,
is.
We just gonna take turns of
yeah,
assigning
take
sheet.
turns.
Whose week is it? All right.
What about you, Megan?
Yes, Stasis looks really. It, Stasis looks cool, and I wouldn't mind having it. It would probably make me play some of my PC games a little bit more, since I
Mhm.
can just
You
turn it
mean
on.
my
Yeah,
PC?
yo.
Oh
You
boy.
mean my PC games?
Hey, some of those PC games I actually did buy with
Don't
It's
say it.
on cash.
Don't say it. Right.
no, I was about to say actually I was about to say gift card, but
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah.
okay, okay. Oh, all right, all right.
He's like, you can
We'll
have
let you
that
get
one.
past.
But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Maybe I had to show it to one of the nephews.
Yeah,
See what he say.
Y'all see this
he'll get it.
I'm
commercial?
on it.
The dude locked
I
himself out the house, and he's like, "Oh wait, I have my Asus Ally."
well, I saw the video. I was impressed, but I was impressed back in the day because it's me when I first saw it. I'm like, this can work for me. One is OS is Windows. You can play any game on it that you can play on Windows. So that means you can use the what is that? You can use well, not what's theme is what do you call who owns theme? Valve. You can use
Val.
Valve. You can use Epic Game Center. You can use anybody else's Game Center, and most importantly, you can use Game Pass.
Yep.
So
Nice.
that means I can cloud game, and for me specifically, it interests me a lot because when I go out of town and out of the country, then I don't have to depend on my PC as much, and I can
Hmm.
actually play on that, sign into my account, and do what I need to do and have fun. So that is the reason, 100%, why I pre-ordered it as soon as I saw it. When they released the price, I went right on the Best Buy site and bought it. My only thought was that somehow, some way, Best Buy has a deal with them because they're the only ones selling it for some strange reason.
Mm.
Did you know that you can't buy it anywhere else but Best Buy?
I didn't know
Wow,
that. I thought you could get it off Amazon.
Huh.
Go look for it.
interesting.
Hmm.
Go look for it. You cannot.
Yeah, I didn't know it was just Best Buy.
Right. And I didn't like that because I really am not a Best Buy person anymore. But
Yeah,
that
me
was
too. Not
that,
really.
no. And that was the only place you can buy it.
Did you check Newegg?
Didn't I just say that's the only place you would buy it? So that would imply. I'm just asking. I'm just
Hey, hey,
saying.
hey, 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 don't you start sounding like Sir Rich.
Hey, don't put me in this. That's because I be spitting facts.
No, I searched, but if you go on Ace's page and you look it up, the
Shoot.
only option to buy is Best Buy that comes up. Nowhere else. So I'm waiting for that to release.
So Asus
And
then struck a deal with Best Buy.
that's somehow, because Best Buy is ailing, I give them another 4 years before they go belly up. So I guess they're
Mm-hmm.
looking for a way to strike interest, which to me, they probably would have had more, but I don't think they would have been paid them to go to GameStop and Best Buy to try to market it with them. But the GameStop, Best Buy probably gave them better margins, meaning that Best Buy is just trying to get traffic in the store and online. Because when you try to buy it at Best Buy, they have these other options you want to add on to it, as they all do, to try to upsell you. But I wasn't doing it. I just bought the unit because I'm like, I got Game Pass. Then it's going to give me 3 free months of Game Pass, and I get that. No, I don't have to get that to anybody. I can just use that. I forgot about that. It'll just tack on to my account.
Yep. Just stack it.
Yep, just stack. So we'll see how that goes. It's June 13th, so I'll get it. I think that's a Tuesday, so I'll get it Tuesday, June 13th. So that means I'll be able to take it out of town with me for the 4th of July. And I have my games on it. But we'll see how that goes. Another topic that we don't have listed. Let's talk about this real quick. Are you guys anxious? We were talking about it earlier, so I'm just going to bring it up so we can talk about it real quick. What do you guys think about? Are you interested in getting it? Zelda, was it Tears of the Kingdom? What do you guys think about the reviews out there? What do you guys think about the reviews, the frame rate, and the 720p that drops down below 720p? OG, your initial thoughts? Are you liking the reviews?
I'm amazed by the reviews. I mean, I'm very curious why, like I
It's
said, why this game is a
9.7,
10.
and they give it's overall 9.7.
It's overall a 9.7. Frame rate, that stuff doesn't bother me. 720p doesn't bother me either. You know, I'm old school from the Atari generation, so I know the struggle. So I'm very curious about it, and I'm looking forward to playing it.
Sounds good to me. Serge, what about you?
I need to get to the first one. I get to it eventually, but it's no rush. But I am interested. But as long as the game is fun, I mean, graphics ain't really the la-di-da as long as the game plays well. I like control over the
That's right.
visuals any day.
We got people saying graphics don't mean anything. Okay, cool. Okay.
Not that
No,
that
I'm
bad.
not going in on you, but I'm just, just saying how people adjust their graphics and all that to fit their narrative.
True. Even though I've always been like that, but there's a lot of people who do that. They'll pity pat around something. It's
Hey,
supposed to be 60 frames per, but it's not, and all this other stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I say it depends on
You,
what
You're
developer
last.
is trying
You're
to
last.
achieve.
Mega, you're last for a reason. So we don't want your opinion yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're last. Jazz.
I don't have a Switch. However, if Sir Rich gets it, I might play it a little bit.
Okay.
I do like I like the Zelda series, so I don't know. We shall see.
Okay. Last but not least, Mega, since you are a Nintendo resident expert, as I'll call you, what do you think about it? Are you interested in it? What makes you want the game? How do you think you're going to be immersed in the game? And what do you think is different from the last game?
Okay. Um, which one should I go first? Which one should I answer first?
Anyone you want.
anyone you
What
like.
makes you? Yes.
It is
Well,
up
yes,
to
I'm excited about the
you.
game. Why I'm excited about the game? Because I like the first one, Breath of the Wild, so much. I spend plenty of hours in Breath of the Wild, and for that game you can go on your own pace, but for me it took me 60 hours to beat.
It took you
And
60 hours to beat.
Yeah, 60 hours. I
Okay.
remember. Yeah. And
Yeah.
what else? What else? What else?
I have heard people say they get engrossed with the puzzles and figuring out puzzles and stuff. I've heard that,
Yeah.
and that's what made Link so special.
Well, to
Although
me,
Um,
well, I'll
you
say
mean
to me,
special as him being special that he can't talk, or special that it's a special game?
I think it has more to do with figuring out the puzzles than Link can't talk.
Double M to me, what, and this is for Breath of the Wild. I was engrossed in Breath of the Wild because of the open world. Compared to many other like open world games I play, Breath of the Wild is in terms of side stuff you do, it's the one that got me like the most I guess you can say alpha open world games is the ones that Breath of the Wild's the one that made me free roam a lot because I like exploring and discovering new things, like
So
getting new weapons and
the
what
open
excuse me, what
the open world is what got you, and
yeah,
the and the exploration.
and the exploration.
Yeah, you
What you
said being able to look and search for weapons, so that's a form of exploration, is it not?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, and there's these things in Breath of the Wild. There's these things called shrines. Now these now in those shrines, that's where a lot of the puzzle solving comes into play. Once you complete a shrine, you get an orb. I forgot what they're called, but when you collect like enough orbs, you get to either upgrade your health or stamina,
As in
which is
any,
how
yeah, like so that's just part of course with a lot of games. Once you find certain things, you use orbs to improve your abilities. You're saying, and
in a
weapons.
way, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. And okay, and let's see here. Um and another thing is that besides that, also like there's a lot more things. Oh yeah, the abilities. Like I like the abilities that you can use in Breath of the Wild. And one of them is that one of the more
Yeah.
simpler ones is making a platform out of the surface of water, right? And
Yeah.
and you can walk across places you wouldn't really be able to reach. Like when you swim in that game, you use some of your stamina up, but when you use those but when you use that ability, when you create platforms, you could go across that I guess you could say
Okay. Let me cut you off for a second because
yeah.
I just want to ask a question. I want to, since you and OG played the game, the I guess the old Zelda games. Can I ask a question to you guys? Because to me, I'm looking at some of the gameplay as we talk because I still don't get Zelda
Mhm.
Breath of the Wild. Let me ask a question because I'm looking at it right now. How is this any different than Assassin's Creed Origins? Double, because I know you played it. I don't think Surge played it. But how is that any different?
I saw some gameplay of Origins, but never played it. Yeah.
Right, but I'm talking to OG because
was
I know OG specifically has played it, and I know he can come from a reference point that I came from because I loved Origins.
I mean,
So,
well, those Assassin's Creed games. They all connect to the one.
but the gameplay and the exploration, how is that any different than the Origins? That's what I'm saying. You go
Man, it's
around,
different, man. I mean,
you
for me,
solve
those
puzzles,
Zelda games was puzzles, and I'm
but
just telling you, once
but
you solve a puzzle, it takes you in.
he
That's
just he said it was game
from my aspect.
from your perspective.
Yeah, from my perspective.
Okay,
So
okay, because I didn't see anybody say anything about puzzles. I heard people say, "Oh, dungeons! Ooh, the dungeons are back." So I'm just trying to level
Which is
set.
right.
They
That's really
said
the old one.
dungeons are back. Now, I know I haven't seen like much of Tears of the Kingdom, but a thing about Breath of the Wild is that there wasn't any like dungeons in Breath of the Wild, and that was a certain aspect from the Zelda series that a lot of people miss when Breath of the Wild came out.
Okay, but
Yeah.
I still don't see any commentary from this character, so that just doesn't do anything for me. All right, my opinion is, I guess I'm not the Nintendo person, Zelda person. I played Zelda on the Wii U, didn't like it then. I don't think I played more than an hour because it couldn't engulf me. There was nothing to Zelda that made me like it. Nothing.
Hmm.
I'm surprised
Nothing.
you had a Wii U.
I, yeah, but I said,
Wii U sold like crap.
but I had one because I always had all that stuff. But tried Zelda on the Wii U, didn't like it. Done. And I'm looking at it now. I'm like, okay, I see this, and I'm just trying to figure out maybe it'll be funner, more fun, so to speak.
Which Zelda? Oh, I
I
guess it's
don't
a little
know. I have
unfair,
to
but
go
which
look at it.
Zelda?
I don't know,
Oh,
but I
okay.
know I played it on my Wii U and I didn't like it. So I don't know which one it was, but I can probably find the game because I still got it somewhere downstairs. But that's neither here nor there at the point. Anyway, I was just wondering, and I'm amazed at the ratings that this game is getting for being a 720p game. Frame rate is under 20, and then everyone resorts to, oh, but it's such a good game. But when I read what people say, it's nothing there that's telling me what makes this a great game. Is it the combat? And it goes to what OG said. Is it the puzzles? Is it what? But
What's the it factor?
right. So
Those
if you're
things were
going,
good in Breath of the
okay,
Wild, but
but
not
no,
sure
no,
about
no.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, my point I'm making is if you're going to hold that only the story as part of the game, then Cyberpunk should have got a higher rating too because we downplayed Cyberpunk because of the frame rate, the hiccups, and all this. They said they had to release a day one patch for this Zelda game as well. So where does it end? Cyberpunk to me had a great story.
Yeah,
So that's me. All right. I just wanted to get you guys thought on that because to
that's
me,
true though. That's true.
I'm trying to level set because it seems that though a lot of people who call themselves journalists, and this is what I hate about the gaming industry, we choose gaming is your opinion is subjective. There is no static rating system to say, okay, if we're going to rate this game based off frame rate, and we're going to say, well, it was the frame rate. But if we excuse Zelda because it drops down to 20 frames per second, how? You can't either you don't include it or it's going to be inclusive to everyone or it's not going to be inclusive. You can't change the rules based on what you think the rules are. The rules got to apply to everyone. So if you're going to start judging, then we're going to eliminate everything. It's just based off fun factor, immersion. Then leave it at that. Do y'all agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds
never
good to
really
me.
trust journalists or
That's
critics.
how that's how we should judge a game. We should judge it off the fun factor and things like that.
That's what it used to be about.
Right, but you
Hmm
see,
That's why I always say you can't spell ignorant about IGN.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
okay, well, I just wanted to get your guys' opinion because to me, it's still Zelda, still looks the same. I'm not impressed, but I guess I'm the prejudiced one. But I own what I own. I'm gonna tell the truth of what I think. Okay, let's move on to this other subject. What do you guys think about all these billions of dollars being spent? And I'm saying billions because I'm over exaggerating. And then they end up closing studios. For instance, Sony uh, was making a game called Final Strike. That was the unannounced title, and they laid off 40% of the staff. What do y'all think about that? Are they investing too much too fast to compete with everybody else in live services? because they found out, hey, we're not going to do this. Is this what did? Or they feel it would have been like a red fall and say we would have released this and it would have wasted our money, or we would have released it and we couldn't make our money because it's a live service game. What do you guys think about that? OG.
I think they're taking it. They're taking a lot of chances on these games right now. They're trying to find something to stick.
So they throwing stuff against the wall.
They're throwing stuff against the wall. I don't think this game was what they said 2 years of development or something. It was 2 years in or something like that.
That was they say it's 2 years in the canceled and they laid 40% of the staff off.
Yeah, I think they was just wasting time on this game.
Remember all
I
the
mean,
rumors? Remember, hey, let's look at it this way. Remember they were talking about Rare and what's that game Rare making, and they had to start over.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Breath of
forgot.
Breath of the Wild. Not Breath of the Wild.
Everwild.
What's that game?
I forgot what it's called. I know what he's talking about.
Forever Wild. Is it Forever Wild? Oh my God.
Hold on, guys. I gotta take this. So, Jazz, I want to know your opinion next.
Yep.
What do you
Also,
think?
yeah, it's called Everwild.
Everwild. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. It seems
We still don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does seem like they're trying to rush something. Like, wait, quick, we gotta get on board. Layoffs of Final Strike games happen today. Ooh, we get quiet.
Yeah, you was explaining outside.
No, I just found
Then you
out
saw
about this today.
Mm.
But that is what it seems like. I'm trying to get your funds and try and get on with everybody else.
Does everyone think that the gaming industry is hard and that you do take chances and you will have losses?
Gamble. Big gamble.
So why is everyone hating on Redfall then?
We know why.
Because
Trying to figure it out.
Right.
Trying to figure it out.
Isn't developing? I think the misnomer is that everyone thinks every game is going to be 100%. And I use the analogy that I used last week is that everyone thinks all these movies that Hollywood produces is going to be a blockbuster. You expect it to be a blockbuster.
you would hope it to be.
Yeah, you hope it to be a blockbuster. Doesn't mean it's going to be a blockbuster. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts, Serge?
As to what? What's the question?
The question was about Sony investing. Are they making the right moves? Or are they just trying to spread themselves too thin? Things like that. What are your thoughts on that? Investing all that money, then shutting the game down halfway and laying off all those people.
I think it's just the way Sony does. Sometimes they have a game and they look at it and they don't think it's their brand and then they'll shut it all the way down, no matter the cost. And they always acquired studios over their history. So,
but
what?
Here's the funny thing that I always find interesting. Nobody really talked about that. But what was that lady named Jade Raymondson or whatever? And EA shut the studio down that she was working with, but they got all kind of flack.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. So in essence, we're going to say it's the norm that the crap happens, bad investments happen, so you cut it off.
It's doom and gloom. It's doom and gloom.
It's doom and gloom for certain people. Is that agreed upon?
Yes.
Indeed.
What are your thoughts, Megan? And you want to be in development anyway. What are your thoughts on something that you want to be in? Makes you less where we want to get into something unstable like this?
Yeah, I was just about to say, man, it actually is kind of a gamble, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
how far you'll go in terms of like working for companies.
But isn't that isn't that any company though? When they don't make the money they want to make, they let you go.
True.
So isn't that just it is what it is in regular society? How is this going to be treated any different when something doesn't make a profit the way it should? Doesn't corporate America let you go? Didn't Amazon just let people go? Didn't Google just let people go?
for
Yeah.
profits. And
Yeah.
not
If
always to
things,
help the company,
right.
sometimes just to get bonuses.
But my point I'm making is that sometimes investments are made, and when things don't pan out, first people to get hit are the employees. So I just think sometimes I don't understand people who write these articles as if this doesn't happen around the world and it's not the norm. You guys get my point?
Uh-huh.
Com- Companies lay off every day, projects get canceled every day. But sometimes they act like this is new. Like, oh, this part of the industry is untouchable. Anybody see that perspective?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Basically corporations aren't your friend.
I think I said that
That's how I
couple of
see it.
I think I said that many, many moons ago. Corporation will never be your friend. Corporation is in business to make money. And when they don't make money, they'll let you go. So
Yep.
never think a company is your friend
This ain't working out.
because you'll be the first to go.
Yep.
Literally.
So in speaking with uh, Mega, with you,
Where's the outrage? Where's the
yes,
outrage?
no, you don't get that outrage like that. You don't get that because it's
Very
called
quiet on the home front.
yeah, very, very quiet. But I just found this to be OG sent this article in. I found it to be quite interesting, where it didn't make a lot of news and a lot of people didn't talk about it, didn't show any animosity toward it, so to speak, but because it's for a certain company. But there wasn't doom and gloom for them, was
Right.
it? So think about that.
It was all smooth selling, no kind of quiet. A little
Yeah.
quiet too. I ain't hear nobody stopping or complaining about them doing anything.
And yet we're going to move over real quick. They being Sony, rumored to be launching the PS6 in
Rumored, heavy rumor.
rumor in 2026 or 2027. What is that? So do you guys
Yeah.
think the rumor is true? Do you think it'll release, or you think what they'll do with it?
I think
I
it's on
think
the
it's an
board.
inevitability.
No,
So
and define inevitability, meaning it's going to come
meaning
out
that
in
software
time.
is gonna have to be upgraded because of technology is
You
gonna
mean the
improve.
hardware is going to be
Yeah,
upgraded?
the hardware is gonna need. I said software, but yeah, the hardware is gonna need to be evolved because technology is gonna get better, and they're gonna need to be able to just redo the whole system, or they just might just want to get a new demographic of people like they always do, because they don't do backwards compatibility for nothing.
But
Well,
I'm curious how that Unreal Engine 5.1 running on the PS5.
you mean right, because the PS5 is running Ryzen. No, wait a minute. Yeah, Ryzen 1.5, and the Xbox is running Ryzen 2, and the AS Rock I found that out is running Ryzen 3. So you saying Sony is going to put the PS6 out so it can do Ryzen 6, Ryzen 3? I mean, is that what you're speaking of?
I don't know. I mean, it's it sounded kind of fishy.
Okay, so let me ask the question this way to you guys, Serge. So do you think it's coming out, or do you think it's the rumor? And the question is, do you think it's coming out, and if it does come out, do you think it'll be a PS5 Pro coming out soon, and then a PS6 in 2025, or let's say 2026? Let's say it's PS5, PS6 is coming out in 2026. Do you
Or
think?
7 even. I think about more like 7, 8.
I don't care if you said seven. It doesn't. Let's say seven.
Yeah.
Do you think they will release a PS5 Pro before then?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because that's they do that. I don't know if it's gonna have any major power upgrade or even anything at all. it might just have like a bigger hard drive or something like that, and they call it a Pro. I'm curious to know what they consider Pro in this market for it to get that label.
All
Because
right. Well,
usually it's some gigahertz or some kind of bonus to the speed.
they already upgraded that clock, so I don't know how much further they can go. Because remember, that clock
Mm-hmm.
was what is it? That bidirectional clock where it could do, I don't know, whatever it was already.
Well, they squeezing 10 point teraflops up out of it
Yeah, and it's
right
already
now.
right,
So
and the thing already gets hot. So I don't know how much more liquid cooling you can do
mhm.
because it was burning up and it was sounding. Well, maybe they wanted to sound like a jet engine again. What are your thoughts? Only a few people have picked that up. What are your thoughts, Jazz?
About what specifically? The fact
The releasing of PS6.
I don't know. I do think it's unbelievably too soon. Um, I don't know. I want to say my thoughts without it sounding one sided.
Hey, your thoughts are your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Are y'all just like throwing this to the wayside? Like, all right, let's start over. Let's start over. We goofed up. Let's make something different. But on one hand, I don't have a PS5, so I can't really say. I don't know.
Okay. Um, Mega, and then we're gonna go to you, Double.
All right. Well, PlayStation 6 coming out in 2026 or 2027.
Let's go 2026 for the sake of conversation.
All right. Um, to me, I feel like going to the next generation is too. I feel like it's too soon as well, and that's for me. That's because we still haven't really seen like a good chunk of games that showed what next gen can truly do, you know? And I feel like the only game I feel like the only game I've seen that kind of the only game I've seen that feels like, oh, this is definitely next gen will have to be Hellblade 2, and it's because of Unreal Engine 5. And I think Unreal Engine 5 is like a really good engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, OG. What about you?
I don't know. I'm a conspiracy theory. You know me. I think the PS5 is not prepared for these new engines that are coming. Like I was saying, the Unreal Engine 5.1. PS5 is what RDNA 1.5. I think the Series X is ready to pretty much take the lead as far as graphical engines
Prowess.
and stuff like that. Yeah. And I think they want to hurry up and put that PS6 out. That's what I
Well,
think.
okay.
We may
Well,
get the Pro, maybe. Eh, we know COVID, we still behind on games. So we'll see. We'll see.
okay. And I see the Nintendo. I'm looking at this video while you guys are talking, and I see Nintendo doesn't believe in physics in this Link game either. They got a train track.
Oh boy.
Here you go. He didn't got started.
Yeah, they don't understand. They got a train track with no support beams under the track.
It's
Wonder how
magic.
that gets worked.
It's magical.
But I guess okay. My thought is this: I don't see why they would release a PS6 anytime before 2020. Actually, 2028 at the earliest. Especially if they're going to release a PS5 Pro, because if they release a PS5 Pro in 2025 and then release a PS6 in 2027 or 28, I would be livid because as something I didn't think about until Serge said it, Sony really doesn't believe in backwards compatibility to that much. But
Mm-mm.
maybe since they're on the same architecture now, which they still were, they may try. but I don't see why they would do it. But it lends credence to a sense of what OG said, that Sony may not be able to get the full value out of Unreal Engine with the current consoles, and they know their gamers would just go buy a new one. But my thought is that if they do release a PS6 in 2025 or 2026, it'll just be the PS Pro that they're going to call a PS6. And then
Yeah.
they'll make
That'll be bogus.
trust me, because what are they going to use? Ryzen 3, RDNA X, and why are they going to do it? I mean, you got to also understand whose processor they're going to use, because they're going to stay with AMD. AMD processors are not cheap. Them SoCs are not cheap. And then if you're going to develop a new one on a cheaper die, still that cost is still up there. Otherwise, you would have seen, and if you don't see a price drop this year, Sony's trying to maximize profits. You have not seen the PS5 go down. They just started mass producing them, right?
Mhm.
And how are they going to hit 100 million, as they say they are, by bringing out a PS6 in 2027? That would imply that they have how many years left? 4 years. They're going to sell at least 20 to 30 million a year, hit over 100, because they said they're going to outsell the PS4, correct?
I don't think they're going to outsell the PS4.
I don't either, especially when we're in a recession, because then they just say now that their sales are going to drop during their last earnings call. But we're getting ahead of, I'm digressing to some extent to financials. I didn't want to go there, but we'll see.
He's like, yeah, I went
I,
there.
I don't see it. I mean, to me, it'd be foolish, because they still got research and development costs. And if this thing costs $599, or did it
When is
cost
Naughty Dog going to drop their next game? Who knows?
next year? Not too soon, because Naughty Dog takes forever too. I just wanted to get home. Well, we'll see how that transpires. But we did see, on a good note, that Nintendo is predicting a slowdown. So with that slowdown with the Nintendo Wii U sales, I mean Wii Switch sales, I stand corrected. Do you guys think the new one will release this year? A new Switch. The Switch 2, let's call it that. Do you guys think it'll release this year? And if so, then why did they put out Zelda? Because they're not going to have a game like Zelda to put out with it. OG.
I think it's coming next year.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's coming late next year. The rumor is next year spring, but I think it's going to be next year around Christmas. That's what I think.
And you know Nintendo is notorious for putting old technology in the Switches, right?
Hey, they're going to need something to run that Call of Duty.
We're going to talk about that one later. But anyway, we're going to talk about that later. Okay. Serge, what do you think?
I mean, you can only sell so many Switches.
You think it's saturated already?
I mean, for the people that want them,
Yeah.
Already, yeah. Because
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy it. I told you guys last week, as Switch 2 came out, then I would think about it. But heck, I'm going to get the Asus ROG Ally, so I'm not going to have a need for a Switch.
mm-hmm.
Because Double ain't never let me borrow his. How you like that one?
Wow.
So,
I wanted one, so this.
Shoot, the light is still going for what? $299? No, $199.
is that how it's going for? All right. So,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think? Next year, Surge? You gonna agree with Double?
What? That
a Switch 2 will come out and or the Switch sales slowing down? Think they'll pick up?
I don't know if a Switch 2, I don't know. Because Nintendo be popping stuff out randomly. And they just came out. Didn't they just come out with another version of the Switch?
They came out with the Switch for the which I'm surprised they didn't.
They did the OLED last year.
Right, but didn't they do
Yeah.
it?
That's
But
what I'm
they did
saying. They did a new version of it, like the OLED. That's what it was thinking about. But I don't see them coming out with a Switch 2 anytime soon because they like relying on their tech for long periods of time, way longer than the current gen. They in their own ecosystem with that.
They got to worry about Nvidia giving them a chip at a good price.
True. So they may, I don't know. I could see them doing it, but I don't see them having the price that they would want on the chips that would condone them making a new system.
Okay. Jasmoto.
I'm gonna agree with Double as well next year. I think the slowing down could be in preparation to make a new system. Yeah.
This the what, the 7th year for the Switch?
Yeah, it's been a while.
So
I'm
it's-
still on the fence. Like I
It's
want
still
one.
You still on the fence?
Only because
Yeah.
I want one.
So
but
are we saying
after this
the
came out.
Switch? Are we saying the Switch is getting long in the tooth?
It's getting long in the tooth.
Mhm.
It's been long.
Okay. Mega.
Okay, so for me, I think I'm not expecting like a successor this year, and I'm also expecting it next year. And here's the thing about, but what I'm really curious about what's happening in 2023 is that Nintendo is being extremely quiet about what's going to happen in the second half of 2023 because the only games we know that are coming out is Zelda, which is tomorrow, and Pikmin 4, which is in July, and that's about it. Nintendo's expecting to I think sell 15 million Switches in the physical year. And the thing is that if the sales rate is going like kind of slow,
So
then
you mean
what is Nintendo
is
going
it?
to do to bring it up? You
So
know?
if you're saying that the sales are stagnant, so what are they going to do? So are you saying real quick that this would incentivize Nintendo to bring out the Switch 2 in order to increase the sales?
Oh no,
You
I'm
don't
not
think?
saying nah.
Okay,
I
let me
many
let me give you another way of looking at it, because I think Nintendo has their own market of people who will buy the Switch. People like you, Surge, OG, but the market has slowed down. Sales have stagnated. You can't get a person like me to buy that because I don't see anything it's going to do. A person like me just bought a Asus ROG because of the power and what it does. If you're telling me that this thing is still back in 2017, is getting long in the tooth again, how am I? You're incentivized to put out the Switch 2 because people that you will go out and buy a new one. So
Nah,
why would
it's gotta impress me. It's gotta have at least 5 games. Like
I have 5 games, but those are things that you enjoyed. OG already stated that he loves his Switch. He takes it to work with him on a certain line. I'm not gonna say that what I'm gonna call the red line, but he used the red line on it, right, Dub? OG.
Yep.
Okay, so if a new one came out, like, you would be more tempted to buy it because it's new and fresh.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna get
to
it.
me,
there you go. See, there you go.
Yeah, that's him. That ain't me.
If
Don't put me in the
something
same
was
box with
But
that.
but but
wait,
my
can I say something real quick?
hold on. My point is
Okay.
that OG is like 20 million other Nintendo fans will just go out and get it. That is going to spruce up your sales because then you're going to have people that want it, and it can be. It will probably will be backwards compatible. Now, that's why I think it would behoove them to put something out next year as soon as possible because the sales are stagnant. And if you don't have new games coming out that's going to show the prowess of these games, and as these new games on the consoles like the PS5 and the Xbox, where the developers are being able to get every inch and use the console. I mean, to understand and develop games to the full extent of the console's power, then it's going to make the Nintendo games look even worse. So, excuse me, I think it would behoove them to move very quick to put something out next year. What were you going to say, Mega?
Okay, well, I was about to say two things. For me, I'm not sure if this really adds anything, but for me, I would buy, I would get like the successor if the games interest me.
I don't. I'm not going to call you bluff on that, but go ahead. What's your next point?
I'll say this: I may be a Nintendo fan, but not every series that Nintendo makes really like catches my interest. But the second point I was about to
Aren't
make
you a,
is
aren't you a Pokemon player too?
I don't really play Pokemon, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta catch him up.
Okay. Well, what's your second point?
And the second point I was about to make is, and this is more of a conspiracy theory, but something tells me that there's going to be a price cut.
That'd be nice. Then I'd scoop
Yeah,
them up.
the price cut is coming this Christmas.
Well, how will you know that?
I'm because it's getting long in the tooth, and the sales are starting to stagnate.
No, who knows? It could be early. Who you know? But
I'm thinking this Christmas.
I would say
but it's
you would.
possible that there'll be a price cut.
Okay, we're gonna. I don't think they're gonna do a price cut
Maybe
because
somewhere to summer. But either way, Nintendo is going to like open up soon because they can't really stay quiet about what's going to happen the rest of the year for this long because this wouldn't please investors. But,
Well,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, let me we're gonna move this along because let me say this little piece though. Nintendo, and I said this before, unlike Microsoft, and to some extent unlike Sony, the only way Nintendo makes money is off video games and off games.
Software.
They don't
Yeah.
know hardware and software.
Mhm.
That's their only bread and butter. Sony has movies. Sony has XYZ. They develop lenses. They used to develop processors, a licensed processor. They sell phones.
Music.
Right. Music. Don't forget Sony Music. My point is they have other revenue streams.
Michael Jackson.
That too. They have other revenue streams. Nintendo only revenue stream is gaming. So don't think Nintendo is going to be so apt to cut prices on their consoles or games because that hurts and going to hurt their profit margin. Now, their games since you guys, and I'm saying you Zelda people who play Zelda and all this, then I expect because this game came out, a lot of people will go out and buy Switches. So I do expect an uptick for the Switch this quarter. And I do expect them because no matter what, it seems like Nintendo diehard fans, they buy Nintendo games.
Yeah.
And then everyone's so called giving this game a 10 out of 10 or 9.7 or whatever, that's gonna make people want to go and get a Switch. So I don't think anything is coming this summer. I don't think anything is coming this fall. If a game comes out, there is no incentive to lose money on something that's selling. All they got to do is put games out, and they're going to make their games on that software. The only reason I would see a price drop coming is if, like OG said, next quarter or next fall, they put out a Switch 2. Then Nintendo will drop the price of this to $99 or $150 if it's $199, because they're still going to get rid of them and get them out of stock, and then they're still going to sell this other one at a premium. But Nintendo bread and butter is console, so I do not see them cutting the price, even in a recession. That's my point. But we'll see. We'll see how that pans out.
I think it's coming. You got these mobile devices, the ROG Alley.
It's more competition, so that's why I do agree with it. They have to put something out, because you're not going to get people like me to buy something that's long in the tooth. But we'll see how that goes. Another story we were talking about, I'm not going to talk about that one, is the fact that Capcom is kicking butt. Unlike, what's that company called, Double? They made Guardians of the Galaxy. What's it called? Square Enix.
Oh man,
Capcom.
Eidos.
Yeah, Capcom. I mean, not Capcom. Capcom kicked butt, whereas Square Enix didn't. Because Square Enix only wants to be on one console, whereas Capcom is on every console.
Oh yeah.
So they did well. What do you guys think about Capcom's numbers selling 41.7 million games?
And
And
they
what was
really
it?
killing it.
Happy.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Them remasters.
Good job, y'all.
For
Some of
real.
my favorite video
Them
games.
It's
Thanks to
Capcom
remasters
not
you.
making new
is
Mega
killing
Man
it.
game.
But that was a smart
Like going multi,
strategy to
like going,
remaster those games, you know,
and multiplat. Don't forget that.
Mm-hmm.
and multiplayer. Yeah.
They put
So
their stuff
yeah.
on everything. Like, you want it? Here you go. Play it.
And we got more coming.
And then we get Street Fighter 6 multiplayer.
There you go.
Exactly.
So yeah, they doing it right.
Yeah, they're doing it right, unlike some other ones.
hmm
Okay.
They doing it right.
Okay. Well, I just want to get your quick opinion on it. They're doing it right.
Well, I also want to say one thing. This is an improvement compared to back in the where they were not doing well back in the early 2010s.
Yeah, they had a little low point in there, especially with that Street Fighter. Just Sony funded that. They helped fund that game.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
it's also with Street Fighter 4 with the DLC. They were doing like anti-consumer stuff.
hmm So yeah, somebody came in there and say, "Hey, y'all doing it wrong." They went in there and remastered everything. Hey,
Okay, we'll see how that goes.
get big ups to Capcom.
We'll see how that goes.
He said, "We'll see."
Yeah,
We'll see.
we will see how that goes. I'm just happy that they did what they did. They did good sales. Let's get into something a bit too more spicy.
Maybe we'll get a Bionic Commando.
That ain't happening.
Mega Man for me.
Hey.
What do you
There we
guys?
go.
Okay, earlier
How
this week,
about a Ghost and Goblins that's similar to Elden Ring?
Ooh. Oh, Mark. Ooh.
So remade Maximo.
no,
That'd be,
anybody,
no, just do Ghost and Goblins.
And that game pissed me off too. But go ahead. What's the next topic?
uh,
Because you got to
what do
beat
y'all
it
got?
twice.
What do you guys think about your girl with the report out that she's underhandedly worked with the CMA, Lina Khan, as an FTC chief denies outsourcing Microsoft merger fight to Europe. You think she was behind
Man,
that?
man, I don't know, man. I don't know. It'd be sounding shady. Some stuff be sounding shady. Some stuff.
So you think this just came out of the air and she didn't do anything and her hands clean?
No, I don't think our hands clean.
Okay, let's go back some. Do you think it's ironic that she had a meeting with the people from the CMA, right? That we are last month, right before the CMA blocked Microsoft deal. And should she even had should for ethical reasons, should she's been allowed to even meet with for transparency and ethical reasons, should she have been able to meet with CMA during that time period? Because if I was an analyst or a stock market analyst and I had inside information, I could go to jail.
Literally.
Yeah.
So you're
So
saying that's pretty much the same
I
difference.
think if she's influencing the stock market because she's influencing companies being bought and merged, and stocks can fall based off you trying to inhibit other and even regulators from
Yeah,
making
man.
decisions.
I lost some money on that Activision last month.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
It went from 86 to what, 70?
Don't worry. We'll see about that. All right. So my point I'm making is, do you think there's any truth? Oh, lady, Jasimoto, what do you think?
To what? Her.
Do you think it was any truth that she is quote unquote outsourcing the fight because she knows she'll lose here? So she's saying that, hey, she influenced the CMA and the EU to block the deal. Do you think there's any truth to that? Because where there's smoke, there's fire.
True.
Man, smoke, that's fire.
I can definitely see it being a thing. Yeah, I just heard about this today, so. Part of her strategy, maybe.
OG?
It's possible. Anything's possible. I don't, like I said, I don't trust her. I really don't. I don't see the method to her madness.
She's trying to make a name for herself. She's trying to be the one that stopped big tech. And she stated that. But more or
Only thing
less.
I see, Microsoft was an American company. People got jobs there. People got jobs at Activision. You hurting a lot of people. That's all I could say. And you going on speculation. I mean, like the CMA, they going on a speculation that that the cloud business may blow up and they will have more of the business. You going on speculation.
Yeah, and she also, Ms. CMA also guessed that Game Pass had 18 million users, cloud gaming, which is a lie in Europe.
That's a lie.
Yeah, they don't. It's cloud gaming is different than Game Pass. They took the whole game.
Literally.
But all right, what are your thoughts, Serge?
I think that's some validity. That is valid. Tongue tied in the mug right now. But yeah, I think it might be possible. I mean,
Ryan.
anything is hoo-ha. But I think anything is possible when it comes to like these deals and stuff like that. She could have had some insider influence, and at the same time, playing both sides. You know what I mean?
Man, everybody was like, it's going through. Yeah.
Okay.
Then they just
I know
snatched
one
the
person
rug.
who wasn't.
You got that right. You got that right. Okay, Mega.
You're like, I heard that. He's like, hell yeah. Yeah.
Mega,
Right.
what are your thoughts? Mega?
Yeah, I'm here. But there's a lot. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff going on with this acquisition.
And we keep
Like
talking. Go
I
ahead.
can see it's a little bit off topic, but I could see like whenever the outcome happens out of um Microsoft trying to buy Activision Blizzard, I could see a documentary about how this all went down.
Oh yeah, it'll be a documentary.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
like this is some history here.
Okay. So let me give you a couple of points that I think. I guess I'm going to be the only one to say I. It's not only that I think I am like 100%. I can't say 100%.
You're
I
not
am
100%
pretty.
sure.
Well, I put it like this. I was not 100% sure, but I sure said what was going to happen, and it came true. But I didn't say I was 100%, right? But I told you it was some finagling going on. Did I not? With the
Yeah.
CMA? Okay. So the way I look at it, a couple of months ago, the Supreme Court ruled against Lina Khan on another deal. She lost the Facebook deal. She is so desperate to win a deal, and if she can block Microsoft in any way, form, or fashion, this makes her a winner. She needs to save face. So if you're thinking that she didn't take her butt and try to convince um, the CMA and she had her dirty hands in that, people are losing their minds because just like, let me tell you how it corrupts, it seems, all these legislators. Most like Supreme Court justice, if you see, you know the BS going on with them, right? They're taking these gifts and they're not supposed to. They're supposed to do X, Y, Z. And if you have familiarity or you touching a case or you've been involved with other people who've touched the case and you think there may be some jealousy or prejudice in this, not jealousy, but prejudice in anything that you may rule upon, then you need to recuse yourself. Since Lena Horne, oh Jesus, I
Lena
apologize.
Horne. Lena Horne.
Apologize, Lena Horne, Lena Khan. So since Lena since Lena Khan was already stated that she was going after big tech, she should have definitely recused herself. She should not have been allowed to even put a vote in the very beginning. Because to me, she already stated what her goal was. You can't, and they already say she's trying to break the law instead of follow the law. Because again, her ideological views are going over instead of the law. So if you're thinking that this lady is some um, nice person that is doing things by the book, I beg to differ. I honestly and truly think 100%, to a very good percent, that this lady has. Because to me, there should have been an investigation the minute she had the CMA over there visiting her during this time. This should have been like a blackout period. That when you're getting ready to make a decision and all these other bodies, regulators are meeting, they shouldn't be able to talk to one another. Because what our country is doing has nothing to do with the UK. What the UK is doing is none of our business. The UK people don't protect our jobs. We don't protect theirs. We are two foreign governments, two foreign countries, two foreign everything. So why are they colluding with each other? If we don't allow everybody else to collude, why are they colluding? So the mere fact that she did that should have caused Congress to say, hey, we're calling you in. We want all your notes. We want everything that you talked about. And if you can't produce anything static that you can prove otherwise, that what of our beliefs, then you should be able to recuse yourself and your vote, and we should be able to go back in time and take your vote away. Because to me, this is her last hurrah of wasting federal dollars. That's all she's done, so she's trying her darndest, and this is her only win. That's my thought. And no one's going to convince me otherwise. And I'll take that to the grave because I think she's heavily in this to block it. And that's all her agenda has been. And
She
based off of
barking up the wrong tree.
and to go up with that, because the CMA, and I'm going off another article that OG sent, it said the CMA was noted the Microsoft made ZeniMax titles like Starfield exclusive in their decision. Here's the hypocrisy in that. First, you stated that Microsoft, that they understood, they being the CMA, that companies do buy other companies to make things exclusive, right? Then they came out and said we do it doesn't, it's not in Microsoft's best interest to make Call of Duty exclusive, right? Didn't they say that? Because they would lose.
Hmm.
Then why are you mentioning this crap? Why does that have anything to do with it? When you know it and you contradict yourself by saying companies make games exclusive to their platform. But now you're going to say, oh, well, they did it like they're the only ones doing it. You're singling one company out, but you're not putting the truth out there for what everyone's doing. That's my whole point when you see hypocrisy in everything that's going on.
It's that cherry picking.
There you go. Anybody else have any additional thoughts?
Not at all.
And
Well,
go ahead.
the EU is Monday, right?
We're gonna get on that. That's our last topic. But another
I'm
case,
good. I'm
okay, the other
good.
case and the
I
other
don't care for Lena.
okay, okay, we good. Okay, we're gonna get to this. But the other point that supports again is the other article that you sent that says the former FTC lawyer blasts UK agency for blocking Microsoft Activision deal, right?
Yeah.
And he blocked it off of one little piece about cloud services. And I want people to understand the EU, I mean, the CMA stretched it by saying one little piece of cloud gaming because they had to go to some little esoteric area to say this is where it's happening. This is why we blocked it. And if people don't see that, and that's the point, because she knew, she being Lina Khan, knew that if she takes this to the U.S. court system, right, she's going to lose flat on her face because she is going around the law. So she had to get the EU and the CMA to block the deal so Microsoft can say we can walk away. That is her whole intent. That is her whole plan. 100%. And that's why we're going to go to where Double wanted to say what he wanted to say, and you just said Double. The EU, the European Union Commission, is going to decide Monday. That's the rumor from Reuters and Bloomberg, is that they already approved the deal. Didn't that sound funny before? Didn't we hear that before? And didn't I get up here and say that ain't happening?
Yep.
And what did else I said? I said,
Yep.
guys, if it is before, they're going to approve it. If it's the day of, it's not getting approved. Because you know
Or
what?
should they be? They'll be saying it right now. It's approved.
There you go. So
Right?
on Monday, the rumor is that they're going to approve the deal by the EU. Now let's go back with some background. If the EU approves this, it gives Microsoft the second win to close the deal. Because if I was Microsoft, I would not let the CMA block me. That would never happen because you are not going to tell two American companies they can't merge. They don't have that right. Only right they got is to say you can't sell your product in our country. They do not have the right to block a deal. That's why Lena is doing what she's doing. They can block the selling of the game in their country. I don't think any country should have jurisdiction and the right to block two American companies from merging.
Emerging.
But let's go back to the point. Got all blurted out last week, and in the last 2 weeks, last week it just hit the news. And this one guy named Foss Pat, he was like, "These are two reliable sources." Everybody, it actually came out yesterday or the day before yesterday. Today is Thursday. It came out yesterday. Oh, everybody was just hooting and hollering, hooting and hollering, hooting and hollering. No, May 9th, it came out that the EU was going to pass this deal, and it's going to be announced the 15th, which is a Monday. And we're going to start with Jasimoto. Thoughts? Don't listen to me. I want you to give me your thoughts.
What about this deal blocking? I don't
Yeah, will the
know.
EU approve the
I
Microsoft merger? Yeah.
You kind of cut out there. I don't know.
No, well,
Honestly, huh?
what are your thoughts? Do you think it's still 50-50? It is, and it may not be.
I think I don't know. Like I said, it's just me being optimistic. I want it to pass, but all this finagling and I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, you up in the air.
Let's say 60-40. I'll change
Okay,
my 50-50.
so you 60-40 that it'll go through.
Yep.
Okay, Surge.
I'm still 50-50, and the more this stuff goes on, the more crazier this gets. Like, it's gonna have to be a lawsuit or something before this gets handled.
A couple.
Okay, Mega.
Um, I want to say 50-50, but and this is kind of me looking at it in a silly way, but I kind of want I kind of want the EU to approve it because not only does this make the UK look silly, but also and this is just a joke, but we can make a lot of jokes about Brexit.
Yes, very
Yeah.
true.
That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Okay, OG. What about you?
I'm 50-50. I don't trust him. But I'm 50-50 on
Okay, you 50-50. So I
it.
guess I'm gonna be the only direct person right here that's gonna come out with the verdict again.
You say no?
So let me give you the verdict. I'm gonna be the only one to put it out before everybody else. If that deal gets announced tomorrow, it passed. If that deal does not get announced tomorrow, it has been blocked by the EU, and they're going to come up with some bogus reason with cloud gaming, and that they are worried about Microsoft and cloud gaming. Although the EU will be proven to be hypocrites because they are launching this new, what is it, next year, where it's going to be called the digital something, where Google and Apple have to open up their platform for other stores on their OS. So that's how Microsoft wanted to compete. And everybody
Mm-hmm.
thought that was an N for Microsoft, meaning N as IN, not END, but it was a way for Microsoft to get in. So everyone was like, oh, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I go back, and what people refuse to do is look at the trend, and I hope I'm wrong, but uh, what's the little joke I tell people? I may not always be right, but I'm never wrong. So think about that. And I'll say it this way: everybody's thinking about these. Everyone's trying to be follow laws and go the right way and base everything off laws. And that's the biggest hill of beans that I've ever heard in my life. And I said it in the beginning, said because I read a lot of articles where this woman and everybody's objective is to stop big tech, but they don't understand. And I know because of competition reason, they're saying, well, look at Microsoft now, look at Google now. Well, again, I go back to Chat GHPT. That is the hottest AI going. Microsoft doesn't own Chat GHTP. Microsoft is renting the service for 10 years or how many ever years till they go public. Microsoft don't own that. That's a small company that is P. So when you trying to stop big tech, it's not about always big tech. Google, Apple, Microsoft, IBM, Oracle are the five, to my knowledge, are the five biggest cloud providers, are they not?
Yeah,
So
I know Google for sure.
I mean, and so no, it ain't Google behind that. Apple. I mean, Google, even Apple to an extent is a cloud provider because they host all that crap. But
Hmm.
it's Amazon, then Microsoft, then Google, then Oracle. Do you guys remember a couple of years ago, right before COVID, when Microsoft won the I forget the name of it, the defense contract to hosting all those services? And Google cried like a baby because Microsoft won the whole I think it was a $10 billion contract. There was
Hmm.
an investigation and yada this and yada that. And in the end, they had to break that contract up, I think, to all of them: Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. It all got broken up to the biggest cloud providers. But my point, even if from that perspective, and I'll say this to some extent, without big tech, yes, you're going to have smaller companies, but more of the smaller companies are in the high end of cybersecurity services. The head vulnerability, like Veracode or Rapid7. Those are not big companies because you're always going to have smaller companies that are able to get in and compete. So with them focusing and trying to thwart big tech, you're killing it, the thing, because a lot of those big tech companies are also big time venture capitalists, right or wrong.
Right.
So essence, what I'm saying is, to make a long story short, our vengeance, so to speak, to go after big tech and to make them look bad and stop them. Sometimes competing is competing. That's what it is. You compete in sports, you compete in everything. You compete in schools, you compete everywhere. But that just brings out the best in you. Now, when you are violating the Clayton Act and what's the other act? The Clayton Act and the Sherman Act for monopolies. That's when you take them to court. And I go back in history again and say AT&T, that was a monopoly. Standard Oil, that was a monopoly. Um, who else was a monopoly? Was it the railroad system and the banking system? Those were monopolies. But Microsoft in gaming is not a monopoly. And they're trying to apply that. So, to make a long story short, if it's not announced tomorrow and you wait until next week, the deal's getting blocked. And then that's when it's going to screw things up because then Microsoft will be forced, so to speak, because they're not going to have the wherewithal because they can go to court and win the U.S. But then I would hope some congressmen from a certain party, because they will, but they're mad, a certain party going to come out and say, do it anyway, and try to, focus, hey, you're an American company. No one can tell American companies what to do. But you're on a global stage now. Hey, hope. I do have hope, but I always tell people I live in reality. And the reality is, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I can get on this call next week and say, hey, I'm wrong. I just call it as I see everything that I've been seeing. Is everything is about destroying U.S. or stopping U.S. big tech. The whole point I was trying to make, none of this is about the gaming industry. It's all about to say, hey, we're going to show you Americans, we don't want y'all to merge. And that's Great Britain. And I posted somewhere, we are not your territory. We have pre 1776. We do not deal with you.
Keep that over there.
Don't bring your monarchy and your tribunal over here to try to decide what we do. We do things supposedly by law. We don't do things by a tribunal that can't be overturned.
Just for giggles, what would Donald Trump say right now?
Oh my God. If he was
Here
that,
he goes.
he'd be like, close it anyway. And he would. He'd be like, close it anyway. He'd be like, anybody gonna tell our country what to do? And regardless of what political spectrum you may be on, one side is not always right. And I don't agree with anybody in the world right now that would say, well, it's good that we're blocking companies from merging. No, it's not. We're not. If we were destroying another American gaming company in the process and hurting us as gamers, then I would see that to be a problem. This has nothing to do with that. Nothing at all. This is about US big tech, and it's always been about, and that's why, well, that is the reason why I told you guys in the very beginning, look at anything I posted anywhere, everything I say 100% of the time, and I keep it real. It's always about US big tech. US big tech, U.S. big tech. That's it. So we'll wait till next week. But if it's not announced tomorrow, when I wake up and get ready to go to the gym, and I sit at my desk around 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, and get back in, and I don't see anything posting that the EU passed this deal blocked.
He'll post it on Twitter. He'll see it on Twitter.
I already said it.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna see it there first.
Oh,
Yep.
He
boy.
gonna be like, "Look, a deal block. Look, told
But
y'all."
See,
Ooh.
nobody can remember. The people love to go back and find out what you said. Go back and look at what I said from the very beginning, because I knew what the plan was. I read what they were up to, and I said they're not changing. And CMA is the culprit, because I always tell people, and we can end it on this: the CMA wants to be important. So they know they have the authority to help block the deal, and that's why I know they conspired with Lina Khan. You're not going to tell me anything different, and you're not going to make me believe anything different. So on that note, we'll wait till tomorrow, because I want to get on here next week to say I'm happy I'm wrong. So we'll see. And on that note, we're done tonight. Thank you guys for listening and staying for our long conversations. I know we went on tangents, but hey, gaming is not just about gaming. We also try to link gaming to the real world, to companies, so people can understand that gaming is just not about fun. There are many different facets to gaming. We're all involved in different areas of gaming, to make sure that we bring people into this from a different perspective at all times, and not just think of it as a hobby, which it is, but also there's a monetary perspective to this. There's a technical perspective to this. There's a human factor to this. So that being said, we're done. Thank you guys for listening, your patience, like and subscribe. And now we're going to let you guys tell us where we can find you. Jazzy.
You can find me here every Thursday night with the crew. I also stream on Twitch, trying to get back into a regular schedule. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Oh yeah, I started a Thundercats drawing that you suggested to me.
Ah, nice.
So yeah, check me on Twitch. It's up there. I'm gonna finish it. I don't know when, but
Cool.
yeah.
Can't wait to see it.
Surge.
Yeah, you can find me here every Thursday, of course. As well as on Twitter and Twitch under Sir Rich. You can find me on Facebook under Sir Rich Gaming, and as well as YouTube at Sir Rich.
All right. What about you, OG?
You can find me everywhere. It's OG double M. Just joking. You can find me here every Thursday with the rest of the crew. And you can also find me on Facebook. So All Things Geeky is our group. We post a lot of sci-fi stuff and things of our interest that we like. And that's it.
Okay, that's why it's called geeky. I'm going to bust somebody out right now, because I'm supposed to do this. Early before we started our podcast, we went out to the young Mega Elixir. He's last. I was before me, but we gave him a challenge. We said, since he's such a Nintendo fan, we wanted him to beat and give us his analysis of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. He's trying to back out, but since I'm telling everybody now,
No turning back.
yeah, there's no turning back. So we want him to give us analysis on why he thinks this game is Game of the Year, or if he thinks it's Game of the Year. So we're going to come back to him, and we're going to give him 2 weeks to beat it.
Wait, I have a question. How do you want me to plan this? Should I make a separate video or?
No, we just want you to be able to write your notes down and discuss. And if you choose to make a video, that's optional. But we want you to be able to get on here and discuss why you think this game is Game of the Year material, and if it is, why. Yeah, that's a good one for you, isn't it? Since you
Challenge accepted.
Since you are the
Challenge accepted.
Y'all heard it
Okay.
here first. He has accepted the challenge.
Yeah, so we'll see. Okay.
So it's like you need to clear some space, huh? I got to buy the game tonight, huh?
Yeah, you do when it come out.
Oh snap.
You have
I was
Yeah.
accepted
talking
the
about the big
challenge, good
story.
sir.
Yeah.
And then double text me tomorrow.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Me, you can find me here every Thursday with the crew. You can find me at the one on Xbox, PS5, or PlayStation Network. I'll be gaming tomorrow. I'll be streaming a little bit tomorrow. Probably if OG or the rest of the crew signs up, we'll all probably be streaming from the Xbox. They'll be streaming from others, but we could stream some Redfall tomorrow or Saturday. We had a good time when we played the other night, so that's what I'll be.
Yeah. We'll
Definitely.
get back on that.
Yeah, we
What
can get.
level are you?
Squad.
For me, I'm a 12. I'm still a 12. I'm not that
Oh
high.
shoot, that's high.
He said, I'm only a
12.
12.
I
Only
think we all still
12.
single
I'm not
digits.
that big. I seen some big people, but I ain't
Yeah,
no
I
big
played with some
boys.
people that have already beat the game. I'm like, people get the time, and I don't want to be rude and say, "Do y'all have careers? Do you work?" I'm gonna say that, but that's what I'm thinking.
That's what you want to say.
Because
That's
these
what you
people,
feel.
they have all the time in the world. And I'm like, I ain't jealous, but I'm like, don't expect me to be that far, because I'm not. Maybe y'all done. But anyway, everyone, thanks for joining, and we're gonna let Sir Rich take us out.
All right, everybody. All right. Let me holler at you.
Holla, holla, holla.
Let me holla. Holla. Thank you all for being here. Holla,
At you, baby. Holler at you.
holla,
Holler, holler, holler,
everybody.
holler,
Get
holler,
some
holler,
holla.
holler, holler, holler at you. Holler at you. Holler at you. Holler at you. Baby, holler at you. Holler at you. Holler at you. Holler at you. Holler, holler,
Holla,
holler,
holla.
holler. Holler at you. Holler, 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 holler at you. Holler at you, baby.
My
Holler
grandma
at you.
used to
Holler,
say.
holler, 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 holler. Holler, 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 holler at you. Holler at you. Holler at you. Holler at you. Baby, holler at you. Holler at you. Holler at you. Holler at you. Holler, 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 holler.